Thanks to Neva's very unsubtle entrance, every hostile force within the manse was drawn to the interior stone courtyard, where a strange and disturbing tree grew from the central well. Here the companions battled orcs and blights, as well as some that seemed to be mocking approximations of the heroes from Fandalin. The battle force was led by another priest of Talos, and for a while it looked very shaky ground for the heroes, as many of them fell and were healed again and again. Eventually, triumphant, they now look to investigate the rest of the manse to see if they can find any clues as to Rowan's sister's whereabouts. Episode 39, Ruins of the Past.
I believe we got away with that.
That's the accepted way to clear out a building, is just to get everyone in one room at once and just kill them all.
Yeah.
Burning hands just over and over again.
Yeah, air of effect spells.
That's insane. It's the first time I've used up all my spell slots.
Really?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, you can act immediately. There is kind of a little bit of flame burning at the bottom of the well, which you may or may not be interested in. It doesn't look very strong, and as the torch kind of burns itself out, it may or may not ignite other things. What do people want to do?
I might just take a look down the well, just see what the torch is illuminating down there.
Well, it goes down quite a way, and you can make out things down there thanks to the light of the torch. But it is really sort of dominated by the trunk of this sort of tree that is it's just erupting from within. So from here you can't really make out anything down there as such.
Fair enough.
Ultimately, how many years was her house, Freya's house, like empty? Do we know?
Decades. So
Right, okay.
Theron is probably, last time you saw her was decades ago, 30, 40 years ago maybe.
Yeah, 2030, I think.
2030, right, yeah.
It's a while. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not been in use for a while.
Okay, because I was just thinking, could a tree of that size have grown in that time? But yeah, it could have, I suppose.
So yes, it could have, although this doesn't look like any tree that you've seen before. It looks quite sort of dark and twisted. It looks a bit of an ugly tree, like a magic beanstalk kind of thing. You know, it's sort of bored out of its well.
That was bracing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we should probably go through the rest of the houses together, just in case anything like this happens again.
I shouldn't.
I agree.
And we're also incredibly low on health. I think we need to clear up and get out of here.
Yes. No offense to your sister, but I don't enjoy her choice of company.
Not very hospitable.
We should pay her a cleaning fee.
Yeah.
Can I stalk over to Garfox's corpse, please?
To Granok's corpse. Yes,
sorry.
you can. Yeah.
And I'm searching for his holy symbol on the off chance it might belong to me in my mind.
Do you believe it belongs to you? So it's around his neck is a three-pronged jagged lightning symbol, which you sort of rip off on a chain.
I'm looking for a specific symbol of Talos, and I don't know if this necessarily is it, but I'm going to keep it anyway.
I think so. My question is: Would Neve definitely recognise?
Yeah,
the specific one. Okay,
spent a lot of time.
This is not the one. It is very similar. But yeah, yours was like on a bronze backing, and this is just sort of a simple sort of gold design.
What was that thing he slapped with me with earlier?
Yeah, he's got this sort of a gauntlet with like these metal bear claws that sort of project from it, which you can sort of punch and slash at people with.
I look around and I admire it. I have a bear totem animal, and this would be appropriate, but at the same time, I do.
It doesn't do as much damage as a great axe.
Yeah. So I just. Do you know what this is? I just say, giving it to one of the wizard types.
The bear?
Oh,
The magic type, yeah.
Shall I roll for something?
You can both. You can roll Arcana. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 19.
6.
It's a mundane item, Rowan. This has no enchantments on it at all. It's fashioned to allow him to sort of punch for more damage.
Just some bear claws, mate. I think you should take them though, they're pretty cool.
It would be a useful gauntlet, you know, if you were ever disarmed from your axe or something, you know, be a backup.
Did I see those wood sprites? I mean, I didn't see them come into the room, but the one that looked like us. Did I catch sight of them during the?
You caught sight of the two white dragonborn reminiscent ones. You were awake at that point, but you didn't see the others.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I would have put 2 and 2 together from that, just seeing the two dragonborn ones. But
it was Zadar that was finally ripped apart by Fen.
I think, yeah. If Vesper does realise, sort of like puts 2 and 2 together, it's like that's a Zadar, and then I might, Ryan. I might be quite curious. I want to have a look at them, or what remains of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd mention it to you and be like, hey, did you notice that? So I'm just feeling like this is some kind of bad omen. I don't really like that. It's making me feel bad.
It was strange. They are obliterated now, pulled to pieces, and they don't seem to be. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly special about them, other than the form that they took. But you can't really understand why they looked like you.
Can I make a nature roll or a magic roll of some kind?
You can make an Arcana roll again with that in mind.
Oh, that's 20, but not natural.
20. Okay, so you don't know why exactly. There's no way you could, but in a similar way to those little effigies that you found in the loggers' camp that had attracted those Ankeg
Oh, yeah.
to the place, that strange little kind of dark ritualistic effigy, you think it's something along that form of magic, but these have been created to represent you in some way, so that they are maybe compelled to attack you, or we're looking for you, or something like that. You don't really know, but they've definitely been formed in a ritualistic magic with you,
with us in mind. Yeah. I think, seeming that last time we didn't set fire to them and it caused a problem, maybe we should set fire to all of the remains.
I quite agree.
Maybe we should take them outside the house.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think we should do that
Search the
inside
house
a
first.
wooden building?
I mean, look, I know that this is my sister's house. I know you must have an attachment to it, but like, we just have had a very bad experience, and there seems to be like dark magic attached to it. I definitely think it's something we should consider.
The fire in the well, by the way, has gutted out.
Right.
So that's ceased. But yeah, with that in mind, saying like, there are bad energies in this house and all the rest of it, that tree was clearly not part of her house originally. No. But you can start shoveling all this stuff outside and set fire to it somewhere near in the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to at least do that.
I reckon it takes you better part of half an hour to 45 minutes to kind of get a bomb. Do you put orc corpses and things on it as well? Is it like a funeral pyre for everyone?
I think we might as well.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we like pat them down for any coins as well? Not to be that person, but we might as well.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
How much do we get?
You get quite a bit actually from all of them. So you get 48 silver pieces, but you get a whopping 112 gold.
Nice.
12 gold. Cool.
Oh, nice.
And one of them has a small ivory figurine of an orc woman holding a small swaddled orc child.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm going to say it takes you the better part of 45 minutes to an hour, in fact, then to build a funeral pyre of that size.
Okay.
So
And we're not attacked by anything in that time.
So no, that's the whole thing. You're now kind of just busily working in this house. You come in and out of the courtyard, and you add things, and in fact, over the period of time, some of those normal boar wander back into the edges of the clearing and start sort of snuffling through pumpkins again. They're very wary of fen, so they don't come very near. But yeah, it's like all sort of peace and calm has descended on this place, and you soon have a big roaring fire going, and the unpleasant smell of like charring flesh means you like retreat back inside the house whilst that's going on.
Okay, time to commit to a full house search. I think. Maybe.
You could use that map to tell me where you'd like to go.
I think I think probably the room that orc or half orc came out of would probably be a good place to start.
Yeah.
But I also know that there's just as many rooms upstairs probably as there are downstairs, so there's quite a few to choose from.
You agreed on that as a starting room?
Might as well.
Yeah, so you head into the hallway, down the stone steps into the courtyard. That sinister tree is still sort of like, reaching out over everyone as you head under it, up the stairs, into the room that Granak came from.
Can we perhaps put some torches around the well? Maybe like the fire would ward off the tree.
Absolutely you can. I mean, you can attempt to burn, chop, damage this tree if you like. You can leave it well alone. It's completely up to you. Or you can, you could certainly.
I don't want to like attack it as so much as rather just try and hem it in with like a circle of fire.
If you want to do that, you can actually pull some sconces off the wall from the hallway and things like that, and set, kind of like balance them amongst sort of vines and roots, and then set these torches in. You can make a little ring, 5 or 6 torches around it, if that makes you feel comfortable.
Because if the vine things try and lash out at us again, there might be a chance that they'll be burned in the process. So.
I'm all for cutting this thing down. It seems unnatural, and I don't think we should leave it.
Would we have to go to the bottom of the well to cut the trunk, though?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you could
get
down there if you wanted to try it. There is enough room to climb between the side of the well. I mean, those things were crawling up. You could climb down.
I would prefer to take a long rest and search the house before we do that.
Certainly.
It is actually It's kind of late afternoon now. Because if you remember, you turned up at the house sort of in the morning, I think, if I remember correctly. I think you'd made most of the journey one night, camped, and then it was only a few hours, wasn't it? So it's now sort of like late afternoon. I mean, would you like to camp outside, out of the house, or do you want to find a place in the house to camp?
I think certainly Vesper would like to just check every room first, just to see what is there. If there's anything we should be worried about, and then maybe if it is fine, we could use one of the rooms inside.
Okay, so let me get this right then. Are you ignoring this tree for now?
Yeah.
Other than a little ring of torches, and then you're going to go into the room that Granok?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I vote for.
All right. In that case, after.
Could one of you clever folk make some sort of noise trap for if anything comes out there in the meantime?
Has anyone got the alarm spell or something like that?
I don't.
Or...
Well, I can tell Fen to sit in there and keep an eye, and she can just come running in and get us if.
She can just bark.
Perfect.
Or howl.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, amazing.
Excellent.
So, making your way up the stone steps on the far side of this courtyard, you enter the room that Granach was in originally. Now, if you remember, I said the orcs lit some lamps. This is dark in here, so I don't know. You've been lighting torches around the tree. I don't know if one of you wants to carry a torch in, just to add a little bit of light. I think you've all got dark vision, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah. But you may or may not want light. But anyway, what used to be some sort of laboratory lies in ruins. And I should point out, actually, that Theron does know the layout of this house, which has only just occurred to me. So you can ask for sort of like little pointers as to, where you're going. But the furnishings, I mean, you remember this room, and Freya used to spend a lot of time here. She would mix sort of various chemicals. She'd spend a lot of time at these elven ruins. There, you're not aware where they are, but she would mix sort of various sort of chemical components to try and do things at these ruins. But anyway, everything is now broken, heaped against the walls. In the middle of the room, painted on the floor with mud, is a 10-foot wide symbol depicting 3 lightning bolts joined at their tips. And there is a dead possum nearby with its entrails spilled out across the floor.
Lovely.
So this is clearly Granach has painted in, or daubed in mud, a giant symbol of Talos in the middle of Freya's old laboratory.
So does it look like there's anything intact or of interest around in the wreckage around the room, or is it?
It is a hell of a mess, but you can make. Why doesn't someone make an investigation roll with advantage? Say, so you've got the help action of other people.
Can I roll an Arcana check or anything?
You can roll
Or is
Arcana
it-
while
yeah.
someone rolls investigation.
I'll do Arcana.
I can do investigation.
Yeah.
shall I?
Ooh,
Okay.
15. I got 22.
I got 20.
Okay, interesting. So, there was once upon a time many things of interest in this room, Rowan, but they have well and truly been destroyed, both in terms of like the elements, time, and destruction. And there is really nothing kind of worth salvaging. But there's also no existing sort of magic. There's no traps, there's no wards, there's no sort of charms or anything in this room. Vesper, you find a small leather satchel which probably belonged to Freya or one of the apprentices, and the flap of the satchel has been ripped off and a strange crude map has been drawn on it.
Oh. Do I recognise where it's depicting?
You don't. It seems to be a forested area, but it doesn't
Interesting.
really make any head or tails to you.
Does
Alright.
it look familiar to me?
I was going to say I'll throw it to Theron and say this is more your specialty than mine.
Yes, Theron, it's the Neverwinter Woods.
Okay.
And there is a place marked on there, which is not that far from here. You know the woods very, very well, and you've got a feeling it's got something to do with some standing stones and things, but it's not an area that you have been to for a while. But you're pretty sure it is an old sort of site of interest. I mean, but basically you know where that X is that is being marked out.
All right. Well, I know where we're going next.
There are more of these people there, more anchorites.
So as you and Theron both study the map and discuss your sort of joint knowledge of the area, you're well aware that this anchorite infestation in the Neverwinter Wood is led from a certain sort of secret hideout, and you're convinced that it's not Freya's mansion, and you think this may actually, yes, be leading you to where they are.
Okay, good. Before we leave there, I'd quite like to just scuff out the anchorites, sort of.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say I just want to empty a water skin on it and kind of.
my magic roll
Wash
was
it
to
off.
see what that was for as well.
It was
Like, what was it?
yeah, sorry, sure, and it was a very good Arcana roll. I mean, it's pretty clear that it was a ritualistic symbol, and the fact that there was a possum with its entrails spilled out, there's some kind of like dark ritualistic magic being conducted here.
Maybe that's how. Maybe they were making the sprites, or summoning the sprites, perhaps.
Yeah.
I've got. I'd like to just clean some of it away with my prestidigitation, just like a foot at a time. Just
Yeah.
get
you
rid
can
of it.
Clean it up. That's absolutely
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Script that away.
So you spend a little time doing that. So like I say, it's probably about, especially with building the funeral pyre and all the rest of it, it's coming on for about 5 in the afternoon. You got 2 doors on the north wall, and so this becomes a little bit easy now. I mean, Theron, you know that leads to Freya's library. But equally, you could go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I want to go to the library. Does anyone else
I'll come with you.
have any objections? We could split up if like nothing has come out and attacked us after we've been here for over an hour. I think that maybe
So-
we could.
Yeah, I mean, my aim here, it would be nice to find Freya, obviously, but my aim is to find as much information as possible about these Talos followers. So I suspect the library is going to be as good a place as any to do that.
Perhaps.
I do.
Yes.
I do remember there'll be a room where the apprentices stayed around here.
Yeah, it's
believe.
upstairs.
But I don't see if there's no more information in Freya's laboratory, she would have spent as much time in the library as she did in here. So I'd be happy to look in there too.
I could yell a lot until we attract anything else in the room.
I think we
think
made a
we
fair
could.
amount of noise earlier on. I imagine if there was anything else around, we'd have seen it by now.
This room has 10-foot high wooden balcony forming its upper level, reached by a wooden spiral staircase curling down to the flagstone floor. Tall empty bookcases line the walls, their shelves mostly bowed and broken. On the lower level, east of 2 pillars, are 4 old desks with chairs tucked behind them, and a few mouldy books are scattered about. Theron knows that this was a very well stocked library back in the day. The books have gone goodness knows where, but there's hardly any here now, just a few of them lying around. And he also knows that he can't quite remember fully, but he's pretty sure that there's a secret door up on the balcony that leads into bedroom.
Secret door sounds fun.
Yeah. Do you tell us about the secret door?
I do, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I lived in this manse with Freya for probably a year. So while it's not as familiar as it would be if it was still all intact and well furnished, it's coming back to a previously known building for me. So I do still recognise some bits of it, and anything that seems obvious or pertinent, I'll tell you as we go round. And yes, the secret door is something that is probably the first thing I mention as we come into the library, to be honest.
Well, there's a secret door. I want to check that out immediately.
Yeah,
straight to that.
Oh yeah.
Can we also go over to the? I want to go over to the desks. Is there anything scratched onto the desks or anything? There was a few books there as well.
Yeah, there are. Are we splitting up a little bit? Are you going to go off and study the desks, and a couple of people go up the stairs? What's happening?
Sounds good to me.
I definitely want to go up the stairs after them, but I want to
Yeah,
these
sure.
desks first.
Okay, so as Theron, Neva, and Vesper start to make their way up the spiral staircase, Rowan just stops off to check out the desks. Rowan, the desks are where the apprentices would study. There are a few scratchings and things, but the kinds that sort of bored students might leave, like a little their name etched with the end of a compass or something underneath the side of the table.
I was just trying to see if I could work out if there was anything in particular they were studying.
Yeah, so once the desks seem fairly uninteresting, but once you dig around a little bit, you can make out. There are a few old texts basically written in Elvish, that describe long lost elven kingdoms and civilizations, that they are too damaged to be worth anything. But one of the desks has got a book tucked under one of its back legs to level it off. It's called Elvish Idioms. And that looks to be in slightly better condition, maybe because it's been squished under a table leg, I don't know. But that's pretty much all you find.
I will pocket that because it sounds cool.
Yeah. So
whether it has any significance to finding my sister or not, sounds cool. Elvish idioms.
Yeah. So you just sort of lift the table, slide the book out, and just pop it straight in your pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Backpack. Yeah. Okay.
How's the dust in here?
It is dusty. When you first came into the library, there's quite a lot of sort of footsteps and things where the orcs have probably literally they've done no more than kind of like walk in, stomp around, see it's boring, and go out again. But other than that, it is quite dusty. It's been a room that's been left to itself for quite some time. So Theron, Neva, and Vesper make their way up, and Theron sort of racks his brain for a moment, and then remembers that there is a little, if you sort of tug on the bookcase itself, it causes this little door to swing open. That leads into basically what was the master bedroom. And I think it probably wasn't. It wouldn't take Rowan much longer to follow you up there. But the three of you basically, you see a four-posted bed, sort of between two shuttered windows against the west wall. There's a desk and a chair, and an empty wardrobe with a door just kind of like one door just sort of open. And there is a fireplace built into the south wall that features an elegant carved mantelpiece. But again, it looks like a room that, hasn't been touched for some time.
Okay,
I
interesting.
kind of want to check every corner of this room. So I want to be sticking my head up the fireplace. Is there anything up there? Is there anything in like the bed itself? What's going on? Let's have a search. Oh, can I like roll a check to see if there's any like magic in the room or something?
So what do you mean roll a check? Are you doing
Like,
detect magic or just an arcana
I suppose
roll?
I can. I'd prefer to do an arcana roll to see if there's anything. So I don't think that there's like... Let me get my words right. I don't feel like it's any magic left over is strong enough to like detect magic. But if there's anything left over, I think rolling arcana would do it. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Well, roll it. An Arcana check is a knowledge-based thing, so it'll help you. It'll help you with getting sort of magical knowledge about magical things or understanding magical events and stuff. It doesn't so much help you like look into. If you're worried about spell slots, detect magic is actually a ritual.
Oh, right.
So you could spend 10 minutes and 6 seconds or something. And you could cast it for free without spending a spell slot if that's what you're worried about.
Oh, yeah, I actually don't have any left, so I would have to do that. I think I might do it. I think it would be interesting just to know everything that we can about this room. So I will be here setting my spell up, and you guys can check out the rest of the room.
Do you know, I mean, as much as I'd like to check out the rest of the room, I'm very tired from what just happened. I might just sit down on the floor while doing the ritual. How long's the short rest?
In exhaustion. Well, it's a short rest is an hour, but it takes 10 minutes to cast a ritual.
Right. I'll just have a look around, sniff, then see if I can smell anything up here.
So one of the things we were discussing earlier downstairs is that once we've had a quick look around the building, we might want to have a long rest. So if there's stuff we decide we want to do that we can't quite do because we're a bit tired, then we can always have a look at doing that in the morning.
That is also another very good point. Yeah, you are very battered and bruised. So you might want to decide to take a rest. Let me see. Theron, while Rowan is sort of deep in this ritualistic spellcasting mode, can you just roll for me? I'll use history as a kind of a good way of measuring memory.
History. Okay. I don't have a very good memory. That was a 6 on history.
Okay, so what's Vesper doing?
I think Vesper's quite excited by the discovery of one secret door, even though it just led to another room that he was a little bit disappointed about. He was sort of hoping for a secret passage or something. But so I think he's kind of interested in checking out this mantle sill that you said, and sort of looking around, like you might have overheard Rowan saying that she wanted to stick her head up the chimney or whatever. And he's probably quite interested in doing that, making sure not to get his horns stuck in there.
Sure. So, you start poking around the fireplace. There is still a lot of soot up the chimney. It's survived all this time. You sort of come out with, blackened smudges on your face, and you're poking around the windowsill. And Theron's racking his brain because he is sort of sure that there's Freya had a secret compartment somewhere in this room. And then as he sees Vesper sort of poking around on the mantel sill, that's when it comes back to you, Theron, that it's something to do with the mantelpiece. And Rowan, as you complete the ritual, and they're all kind of walking over that way, when you look in that direction, sure enough, there's an aura of conjuration magic emanating from the fireplace mantle.
Any good, Rowan?
Ooh. Yes, I found a clue. This mantelpiece is magic. Conjuration magic. What does that mean?
It means that there's something to do with that mantelpiece that is linked to the school of conjuration. But the fact that you can see a magical aura from it, and Vesper's poking around it, has, Theron's memory has fully jogged now, and he knows that you can actually lift the top of the mantelpiece like a lid, and there is a secret compartment underneath.
I mean, should we just lift it then? Is there no traps or no magic required?
Let's find out.
As far as I remember, it's just a lid.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Cool.
So who's
Let's lift it.
Okay. So you 1, 2, 3, all three of you.
I can come and help if anyone needs.
On the count of 4.
Inside is a beautiful intricately carved staff, and it's a lovely piece of sort of birch wood. It's all sort of gnarled and but smoothed off, and all the way up it are these little bird head sort of carvings that poke out of the wood, and lots and lots of different kinds of birds. And it is definitely a magical staff of some kind, Rowan.
Nice.
I remember Freya holding that. I don't remember
Yeah.
her doing anything with it, but she was quite fond of it. I did see her holding it fairly often.
You think, Theron, that it was a beloved sort of item of hers, but it was not incredibly powerful, or maybe not in the way that people may think, but it can create any kind of bird call.
Oh.
Sort of like, teasing you by making like goose noises behind you. Or,
Yes,
seagull
I remember.
noise.
It's all coming back.
So, you might want to argue, the two of you, Rowan and Theron's sister or lover, who's going to take that staff away.
Well, I think that it would mean more coming from me as a gift from one sister to another. Me saying, "Look, I found this your favorite staff for you. Let's be friends again." What do you think, Theron?
So I think
gonna
that
fight me?
if Freya was going to give her staff to anyone, it would be her sister, not me.
I want to go to the apprentices' bedrooms or dorms next.
Okay, well, there is
Oh.
actually another secret door.
I was going to say I want to
Oh.
have just a quick look at the south corner of the room just to see.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that now your memory is coming back with various little things like that. You remember that there is another little room that's hidden away. So as Rowan perhaps kind of heads off out into the corridor to check out the apprentice's room, which Theron sort of says is around the other side of the building. Theron pokes his head into this what was like a little magic item vault, and this door has been sealed for years, it seems. Hanging on a hook on the far wall is a handsome cloak that billows softly as the door opens. Against the north wall sits a wooden chest with tiny clawed feet.
Oh.
So probably the three of you that are still in the room can just sort of see this. And the cloak sort of billows out as you open the door, making you feel like this breeze has gone into this room that hasn't been disturbed for years. But as you stand there looking at it, it just continues to billow.
Ah. Curious.
I seem to remember this is another one of her favoured but not massively useful magic items.
Do you recall what its purpose was?
To billow.
No, I think it looked pretty cool, but I seem to remember it just doing what it's doing now.
I can see that.
It's so
Usually
that
at dramatic moments, I seem to remember.
yeah. It's so the wearer can look particularly dramatic as
Wow.
they put this cloak around them.
I like the sound of that.
Yes, it's one of the awesome school of magic items. That does nothing practical, but looks awesome.
Ah. It's wonderful.
There is
So-
also a chest in here, though.
No idea what's in the chest though. That's something I've never seen.
Rowan, do you see anything, any magical aura with your magic sight?
Well, Rowan's headed off round to the apprentice's room.
Shoot.
So she's not here currently, unless you're only probably just going out of the room. If you want to call Rowan back, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
I'll come
oh, look at this.
see this cool magical vault room. Yeah, do I detect anything unusual about this little box?
Yeah, there is There is definitely something magical inside. But yes, this chest looks pretty ornate, pretty heavy, and you think, Rowan, it might actually be magically locked.
How would we open it then? Can I cast some spells?
As a wizard, you would know the knock spell would probably open this, but I don't know if you have that spell. Otherwise, a half orc with a large axe smashing at it might get inside.
Such a nice chest, though, but I suppose what's inside it is the magic is coming from inside it, isn't that? Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Neva, would you like to do some smashing of boxes?
Yes, I would. But
Cool.
that's a very nice box. Wouldn't you get more for it at the pawn shop unsmashed?
I don't know.
Do you have the spell mending?
No.
Shame.
So before I smash it, I just look to see if there might be any opportunity for a sleight of hand roll.
As in, you would like to conduct a sleight of hand now?
Yeah,
Yeah, please do.
just to see if it's possible to unlock it that way. Unless I've
Oh, I
misheard
see what you're
something
saying.
Did I miss something earlier?
No, well, not really. I think for you may assume that it's possible to perhaps pick the lock open or something like that. But Rowan is, because she's got this kind of detect magic sight on at the moment, she's pretty sure that it's actually magically locked.
Sure.
I mean, if you do want to save this chest and you're not particularly worried about whatever is in there at the moment, you could always try and take the chest away with you until you've got a magical means to open it, or it's quite a heavy looking thing.
Yeah, it's just really cumbersome, I suppose.
Yeah.
It weighs about 30 pounds.
What do you think, Vesper? Do you think we should take it whole back to
Well,
Gandalin or not?
I'm inclined to. I think it'd be nice to salvage something for your sister who hasn't been. This house has been completely smashed to pieces.
Well, it seems like the magical items themselves are what's more important to her. So I'm not sure if you'd care for like the material box, but yeah, I suppose you're right. Like,
it's a nice gesture.
Maybe let's not smash up the one remaining belonging she has.
Are you saying this is an important, fragile magic item?
Well, it seems quite sturdy.
I will happily do heirloom transport. 10 gold pieces, guaranteed, no broken. I'll carry it all the way back to Fandolin if you want.
Well, we picked up a lot of gold off of the orcs, so yeah, I suppose that pays for any furniture removal. Yeah, okay. Please, I will.
So you're going to carry this away for now? Yeah.
Well, we'll leave it here for now. But
Sure. Yeah.
While I still have my detect magic senses, I would like to go back to the apprentice's rooms.
Sure.
If there's nothing else left in the room.
Well, would anyone like the cloak of billowing?
I'll take it.
It's a very Vesper thing.
It is, isn't it? Vesper sort of feels a little strange, as you know, this is Rowan's sister and Theron's lover. He doesn't want to just step in.
Oh, Vesper, you can take it.
Thank you.
Rowan, would you have a use for it?
So if it would have no use to me. It would kind of just get in my way if I was creeping through the forest with a cloak of billowing on. It's not really my style. So.
No.
Does it have a certain colour to it, or was it just sort of black?
It's sort of a night blue.
Ooh,
kind of colour.
I love that. In which case, yeah, I'll just throw it on.
But yeah, and
be aware that you. Sorry.
Tremendously dramatic as you sort of around your shoulders.
Flick it back.
Might have to give it back to Freya if we meet her, though. If we find her.
I'm just
be aware.
Looking after it.
Okay. taking care of it for now.
Absolutely.
He says as it billows around him dramatically. He sweeps it around, and Fen just rolls her eyes and kind of pads out the room in disgust. As you leave through the double doors to the north of the room, there is kind of quite a wide corridor that heads around to the right, and Theron's pointed out that basically the apprentice's bedroom is as far away from where you are as you can get on this floor. So it's up to you whether you want to check other places on the way.
And yet, oddly, also as close as you can get on this floor.
Also,
you just can't get there.
Yeah. Unless Neve wants to just try and smash through the wall again.
It's just a wooden wall. You could just probably walk through it. So I'm kind of... I'm while I'm obviously keeping eyes open for any clues about where the followers of Talos might be, it's more of a nostalgic walk through an old building that I used to spend a lot of time in for me. So I'm not specifically hunting for stuff, but if anyone kind of gives me a nudge and asks me any questions, then I'll be here to assist. But I'm kind of, it's more of a nostalgic memory of a few decades ago when I used to live here. So
yeah, so I think what's happening is that as you're walking around, Theron is probably just gently kind of pointing out where the doors lead. So there's a double set of doors on the left-hand side, which he mentions that they lead out onto the portico balcony. So where Neva first chased the anchorite up the steps. If you remember, there was a balcony above those stairs. That's where they lead. And there is a little door just directly ahead, which leads into that kind of circular room that you ran around. It's actually a bathroom in there. So just let me know if you want to go into any of these places. But as you're wander around, you're just kind of pointing out these different things.
Can I poke my head into every door possible just to check?
Just to look for magical items. Yeah, of course you can. There's nothing magical on the portico. There is... it's all very, very overgrown with ivy. But there's nothing particularly of interest. And then you open up the door and look into the bathroom. Again, there's a smashed window. Ivy has grown through it. There's a cast iron tub with clawed feet that stands in the middle of the room. Next to the tub is a rusty iron water pump. And Theron remembers that used to, maybe it still works, you don't know, but it used to pump hot water from a spring underneath the house. The hallway that you're in itself is quite grand. A hallway that leads kind of around the corner to the right at the far end, basically. There are hooks where decorations once hung, and you're starting to get the impression that this house was sort of emptied out a little bit, it seems. But some time ago, you don't think this is the orcs looting it recently. There is a fireplace along one of the walls in this hall that has a large insectoid head mounted above it, and Rowan and Vesper, you recognise this as an ankeg.
Oh, yeah. I think Vesper will shudder as he walks past it.
Yeah,
try not to make contact.
It's a pretty nasty, yeah.
A literal ankeg or just a wooden statue of an ankeg?
No, it's
just the head.
The mounted head of an ankeg. It's quite a large, pretty impressive and scary looking thing.
I'll say to Rowan as we walk past, I think Zaraki would get on quite well with your sister.
Yeah, what kind of decor did she want in this house? Or is an ankeg head like the equivalent of a stag head? I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's exactly
like a hunting lodge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
in
mounted
D&D.
in that way.
Wow, gosh.
So you don't know if this is something that Freya killed, or
Yeah.
maybe she, went hunting with Falcon. No, I don't know. Maybe that was Falcon would have been too young. I don't know. The natural light enters through a hole in the roof at the east end of the hall, and the floor beneath where the roof has collapsed is just covered in debris. What are your passive perceptions?
Mine's 12.
14.
12.
12.
Theron, you shout out a quick warning as Fen snarls, and you see sort of dark shapes detach themselves from the wall as they swoop down on your companions. You're the only one quick enough to notice them in time. Neva, what's your armor class?
It's 14.
So this bat-like creature with a large proboscis suddenly swoops down and just injects its sort of sharp proboscis-like nose into your stomach. And it's a swift and shocking attack. It does 4 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like attached to your torso. It's got little clawing kind of arms grabbing hold of you as it starts to suck the blood out of your stomach. And these kind of bat-like wings are wrapping themselves around you. One swoops at Rowan.
Yeah.
I think 16 is going to hit you as well, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And you take 5 points of damage as it sort of sticks its sharp proboscis just in the base of your neck. And Vesper, a natural 1, 6 is not going to miss you. Theron's shout warns you just in time as you duck with a dramatic billowing swoop of your cloak.
Yeah,
as this thing swoops over the top of you. I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, nice. 23.
Good stuff.
23, we need to roll off.
6.
11.
But Theron, you are able to react this round like before everyone else. So what would you like to do?
Okay. So where am I in relation to everyone else? Can I kind of take a step and a swing at the one attached to Neva?
You absolutely can. Yes, you can.
Okay, I shall do that.
Much obliged.
Well, I haven't encountered these before. I am aware of them, and I feel that probably getting it off the most damaged member of our group might be a good idea.
Yeah, I've gone very white.
24, sorry, to hit on that one.
Yes, absolutely hits.
D6, which is 9 damage.
9 damage. So, what is this? A rapier?
No, it's a short sword.
Oh, short sword. Yeah. So, piercing weapon.
Piercing, yeah.
You just like lunge forward, skewer the sturge, and kind of with a flick of your wrist, just rip it out of Neva's gut and fling the dead creature to the side of the hall. The flutter of wings and kind of like, shouts of alarm from you causes the ceiling to erupt in noise as suddenly a lot of dark shapes flood the hallway.
Nice. Are there any others that are attached to people?
Yeah, one's on Rowan.
Can I get to that and take a hit at that as well?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Okay. That's 25 to hit.
Yes, hits.
Doing 10.
I don't think you could not kill them if you hit them.
Well, I get +5 damage, so
yeah, they've got
that's
2
probably
hit
enough
points.
to. Yeah.
So, reacting with great speed, you sort of like just stab out and rip these 2 sturge from your companions.
Cool. So I've got 1 more attack.
And you got 1 more attack. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 weapons and 2 attacks, which means I get 2 attacks and a bonus attack.
So the only other one within range at the moment is the one that's just fluttered straight over Vesper's head.
Cool. I might as well. Anything I can do to reduce the numbers is good. That one is that's a 10.
No. So that has just flown past just a bit too quickly as you sort of swipe out And like I say, the ceiling is suddenly now alive with these things as the whole colony has been disturbed. It brings us to the top of the first actual round of combat, which I think is probably Theron again.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So I shall take a step towards the group of Sturges, I guess, and just take a swing at one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a natural 20.
Wow. Okay.
So that's 28 to hit.
Okay. I think we know if you hit,
That's
you kill them.
It's
So
a minimum of 7 damage without actually rolling a dice.
you're just running forward and just sort of like stabbing into this cloud of strange bat creatures.
Second one is a natural 1. Brilliant.
Okay. Other end of the scale.
And the third one is another natural 20.
That's
I like this
bizarre.
dice.
That
It's
is-
like a coin, this dice. It's got 20 on one side and a 1 on the other.
I'm rolling a D2. So Theron, at the point at which the others sort of get their wits about them, has already taken 4 of these things out and sort of flung their bodies across the floor. 2 swoop down at you, Theron. One of them has got an 8, but one of them has got a 22.
Nice. That hits.
So that does, like the others, just kind of it's going to suck your blood. It does 5 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
2 more swoop at Rowan. Ooh. Does 12 hit you, Rowan?
My armor class is 12.
Oh, okay. Well, one of them misses you, but one of them just hits you then.
I think I'm gonna die.
That's 4 points of piercing damage.
Wow, that's funny because I have 4 hit points.
Okay. So this time, after having one just removed from your neck, another one sticks into your side, and as you drop with weakness,
I
basically,
dramatically
see.
collapse.
it's gripping hold of you, and it's just going and just sucking the blood out of your body while you're unconscious on the floor. 2 more go for Neva.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, a 19
Mm-hmm.
and a natural 20.
Well, in that case, I go down because I have 1 hit point.
Okay, similar thing, but 2 of them are on the half-orc, sucking blood. Do remember, damage to unconscious characters are automatic death fails. Finally, Vesper. That's definitely going to miss you, but the other one, I think, is going to hit 20.
No.
No? Okay. That cloak of billowing is better than I thought.
Oh, it's so good. They just don't want to go through it. They're just like, it's so stylish. No.
5 points of damage, Vesper.
Okay.
Maybe you should have taken that rest. So, I mean, imagine you're in a dimly lit hallway in a ruined house. This hole in the ceiling has obviously let this colony of Sturge in. This is a sudden, swift and sharp kind of attack. A frenzy of wings and noise, and 2 of your comrades have just fallen. Theron sort of thrashing around wildly with a sword.
Okay.
Precisely with the sword.
Sorry, yes.
Of course. Okay.
Fen rolls her eyes again.
Well,
She
I'd like
lies down on the floor and puts her paws over her.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I would like to inspire Theron with a note of destruction.
Sounds wise.
So yeah, your next attack roll, you can use a D8
Nice.
to do thunder damage to everything within a 5 feet area of what you hit.
Oh, that's good.
I'll take out my rapier and I'll try and stab one of the ones attached to Rowan.
Okay,
That's
go for it.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There is 1 on Rowan. There are 2 on Neva.
I see.
So he will fail 2 death saves in one go.
Right. I was sorry. I thought it was 2 on both.
No, there's only 1 on Rowan.
Right then. Then it would make sense to go for one of the ones on. Yeah. Oh, that's much better. 24.
There we go. So poking
go.
around a little bit, you finally jab your rapier in there, and I'm pretty sure you'll kill this.
Yeah. 11 damage.
Oh, but absolutely you will. Yeah. So you watching Theron's technique. You stab the rapier through the middle of it and kind of flick the thing.
Yeah.
Bounces off the wall of the hallway. And where does that bring us, Rowan?
Neither.
It is an automatic death save fail as the other one sucking away at the blood.
Okay. But I don't need to roll another one in addition to that, do I?
No, I'm just going to count it as just a fail, basically.
Okay.
Go
even whiter than I was before.
and then Rowan.
Yeah.
Same. A fail. Yeah. So we're back to Theron.
Okay, so I will, as discussed, do an attack on one of the ones above me to try and maximize my damage to enemies and not friends. That is a 14.
A 14 is exactly what you need. Now I'm going to roll a d4 to see how many... 4. So in this current flurry of activity, there are 4 other Sturge in directly near the one that you've just stabbed. So if you want to release that note of destruction.
So the one I've just stabbed took 9 damage from my stab, and then the thunder wave does 5 damage.
Is it you were going to say something, Vesper?
Yeah, I'm sorry to be that guy, but apparently they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
All the ones that are taking the thunder damage.
Yeah, otherwise they don't take any damage.
Okay, let's have a little look there.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution +0. And what's the DC? Is it yours?
DC, yeah, I believe it is. Let me just... it's 15.
Okay. Theron stabs up, releasing this note of destruction that Vesper has enchanted him with, or his sword. He skewers one Sturge. There is a kind of a detonation, a boom, and 4 other Sturge just drop lifeless to the floor around him now.
Nice. So, I've got 2 more attacks. Are there any within range? Is it like one on Neva and one on Rowan?
You've just obliterated the entire cloud of Sturge above you.
Nice.
The only 2 remaining are the 2 on your companions.
So can I take? I'll take an attack, 1 at each then.
Yeah, you may.
Okay, so the one on Neva would be
with advantage. They're prone.
Okay. So that's 23 to hit.
Yep. So that's plucked off easily.
Which is 7 damage, and the other one is also 23 to hit.
And again, so quickly and efficiently, you rip the 2 Sturge away from your companions, but they are, of course, unconscious and bleeding. The Sturge have been dealt with. Who's next in the chain then? Neva?
Yeah. Am I still?
So it's a death save roll now.
An 18.
Oh. Perfect. So one fail and 1 pass. Vesper, I think you're next, are you?
Yes, I believe
I am. What are you going to do?
So, I believe we've got 1 healing potion left, don't we? But it's not on me.
I've got 1. Yeah, I've got a healing potion.
Okay, thank God. Can I try and stabilize one of them?
You can make a medicine check, yeah.
So I will make a medicine check for Rowan, as she is my close friend. So, medicine +2. Oh, that's a natural 1.
You actually make it worse.
Vesper, you heavily handedly kind of poke at bite wounds and try to sort of stem the flow of the blood, but you just make matters worse. And Rowan will automatically fail her death save on her next go, which is now Theron.
Okay, so I'm proficient in medicine, and actually fairly good at it. But I also have a healing potion.
Mm-hmm. Vesper's having a conniption.
So
right
what
now.
I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stabilize Neva.
Yep.
And give my healing. Oh,
That's a good idea. I approve
But
of that
that
idea.
was what I was saying. Stabilize Neva and give my healing potion to Vesper, so that he can give that to Rowan because his turn is next.
That's
Yeah.
right. It is before Rowan, at least.
Yes,
Yes.
which means
absolutely.
that, in theory, as long as I don't completely balls up the healing, I should at least not kill Neva.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Vesper
Well,
will heal
also
Rowan before she has to make another death save.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, so I will try and stabilize Neva.
Okay.
That is 22.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. You do indeed stabilize your close friend. Sort of drag him to the side of the hallway. You sort of throw the bottle, quick shout to Vesper.
Yeah.
Vesper catches the healing potion, and you kind of get Neva into a comfortable position, tend his wounds, and Vesper, you sort of glug this healing potion down Rowan's throat as she sort of gulps back into consciousness. If you'd like to roll it's 4d4 plus
4.
4.
Okay, 44
Greater
plus 4.
healing.
That's 16 points of HP. Well, HP.
Okay. So Rowan's wounds heal up pretty rapidly and dramatically under the power of this potion. Neva is in a bad way right now, and perhaps it is time to take that rest.
Yes.
In the house or out of the house? So you
So-
had...
My suggestion is to see if we could maybe make our way back to the master bedroom,
Hmm.
and because it's only got 2 doors, we can lock those and we can kind of hole up in there for a rest. I can certainly take the first watch without any problem,
Yeah.
without many problems, as long as I don't get a whole host of sturge coming in, I should be fine. And that will give everyone a chance to kind of recuperate.
Yeah.
I
Same.
agree.
That sounds very wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into lengthy detail here. I think it's quite apparent that you attracted most things of danger in the house to you. Certainly anything that was connected to the anchorites in that lengthy and exhausting battle. The sturge up here are somewhat disconnected to the rest of the invasion in the house, and they were obviously just sort of roosting in that corridor and swooped on you as an opportune snack when you went past. But as the hour-long rest proves, there doesn't seem to be anyone else in this house, and you're able to kind of recuperate a little bit. Now, who's going to roll healing dice during this short rest?
Well, I'll play a Song of Rest
Okay.
whilst we're doing that, so we get an extra.
So my question is, are we having a short rest or are we having a long rest?
Okay, sorry, right.
Yeah.
Because we're all fairly damaged and we've all kind of used up all of our magic.
Yeah.
Feels like a long rest might be in order.
Yeah.
It is late.
Because it's kind of late afternoon time,
Yeah,
from what I
early
remember.
evening. Yeah.
It's a little bit earlier than we would normally go for a long rest when out and about, but I think it's been a long day.
Yeah.
We
I-
need one.
I think even if we're not sleeping, I think we could take 8 hours off from just doing anything else and just recuperate and recover from what we've just been through. That would make sense.
Yeah, so I think you definitely rest probably for longer than 8 hours through to the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
You place Neva on the 4-poster bed. The 3 of you get out your camp beds and sort of like put them on the floor. Fen sits by the door, sort of on guard. Do you discuss anything during, like when you're perhaps having an evening meal, Theron and Rowan? Anything about Freya?
Well, yeah, I think we would certainly spend a little bit of time kind of talking about our memories of Freya. It seems an ideal opportunity, given that we both know the same person, to do that.
Yeah.
But I also did we get anything from the loot of the wizard that we fought yesterday or fought earlier today that we need to discuss while we're here? Was there was a map, wasn't there?
Yeah,
got a map from the satchel.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if there's anything else. I was kind of happy to
what was
charge
it?
off and fight other stuff at the time.
No, the only thing of real interest was that map, and you and Neva were able to place where that is in the Neverwinter Wood. And now with a little bit of discussion with Rowan over, like, you know, Freya's research and kind of the stories that, you know, she would tell before she left home and all the rest of it, you slowly piece together this description of a place that was known as the Circle of Thunder, which is certainly kind of, you know, ringing alarm bells as something that might be of interest to an anchorite. Sure, yeah. Well, Rowan and Vesper have met Falcon, certainly for a sort of, you know, an overnight stay. But Theron, you know him relatively well as another kind of accomplished hunter of the woods, and you have heard Falcon talk about the Circle of Thunder on a number of occasions as a place that he would quite often avoid if he's sort of, especially if he's taking sort of dignitaries and stuff on hunts. So you're wondering whether perhaps he might be the person to go and talk to with regards to this. But by morning, Neva is sort of recuperated, rested.
Oh, good. Less twitching now.
Less twitching, yeah. And all of you, thanks to some of the magical or soothing of Vesper's. Is it a lute you played in these kind of?
It's probably my bazooki.
Bazooki.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a hipster bard.
Yeah.
You know.
You're all in much better spirits, fine fettle, and you have all your spell slots back, all your hit points back. On D&D Beyond, you can just hit your long rest button, and it will do it all for you.
So while during the night as well, I will I'll find a piece of wooden kind of debris and carve it into a little sturge and put it on the mantelpiece before we leave the room.
Perfect. Love it.
Oh.
Have an inspiration dice.
Thank you.
Now, as morning approaches, you can hear kind of the snuffling of boar out in the pumpkin patch, along with the kind of the rising bird song of the morning. But other than that, all is kind of quiet. Do you want to continue to search the house? You haven't really worked out what may have happened to Freya, but you're starting to worry that you may not. From like, I don't know if you remember, but I said about the rumours that you'd heard was that she'd never returned. The apprentices had waited around for a while, and they had kind of like got worried that they were unsafe there, and they just sort of left. So it seems like she went missing without any kind of warning.
Yeah, well, that certainly seems to bear out the fact that she left this wonderful cloak and the her favoured staff behind. You think if she was planning on leaving, she would have taken these things with her. If she, she cared for them as much as we think she did. So we got a little bit of information there already. I'd certainly be interested in carrying out the investigation on the house, just because I hate to leave a stone unturned, and the loose ends bother me. I think Vesper likes a clean narrative of a place, just from like his storyteller, sort of background. Yeah, so he'd like to look through it all, just to sort of see if he can construct something in his mind.
Sure. And I think we could almost maybe sort of story form this in the sense that, you know, you cook a nice breakfast together, you've spent the night in the house, kind of on watch. You've maybe wandered a few of the rooms while you were on watch, and you've become fairly comfortable in the sense that this is now an empty place, and you sort of wander through the remaining rooms, just Theron nostalgically, Rowan sort of like trying to, get to sort of see bits of her sister that she never managed to, because she's never visited this place before.
So as we wander around, I'll come up with some little stories about things that we'd done in the building, or that Freya would do.
The apprentice's room, for example.
Can I cast detect magic in the apprentice's room?
Yeah, absolutely. You can wander around with that kind of lit again. There is nothing of magic in here, and actually there's a big hole in the floor, and it looks like this is where the orcs were originally kind of camped. There's a lot of broken furniture, sort of pushed to the sides of the room, and then kind of a table, chairs, a few coins, mainly just copper, like they were sort of gambling. But there is not much left in here, and you think the orcs kind of like took their weapons out of this room and came and attacked you. And that kind of finishes the sort of the sweep of the upstairs, and then you go back down, and the sort of the northern portion of the house is all kitchens and parlors, and that kind of thing. And if you have got your detect magic still sort of going, you realize there is nothing of magic down here. Lots of sort of broken furniture, moldy rugs. In the dining room, the whole place has been like defaced. There are crude drawings in blood that depict boars chasing stick figure humanoids, and that kind of thing. So it's like the anchorites have just completely kind of defaced the place. A little sweep of the room. There's a tiny bit of treasure here. There is a silver candelabrum that would be worth a little bit of money, maybe, if you wanted to pick that up. But otherwise, it soon becomes clear that the house has long fallen into ruin, and anything of interest you have probably already found. So there's just that chest with something magical in it upstairs.
I think I'd like to. I could at least try and clear away those bloods, the drawings in blood, with the prestidigitation, just to go over it and just sort of get rid of any sort of sign the anchorites were here. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of do that. Maybe the others want to just sort of bring the chest down while that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it explode when I pick it up?
It doesn't explode when you pick it up, no. However, when you're dragging it through the bedroom, you're getting that lovely view of outside through sort of the big bedroom window, and you're noticing, again, very unseasonably we're in sort of late summer now, dark storm clouds gathering over the wood. Now, you two, Theron and Neva, who spend a lot of time in the Neverwinter Wood, are getting kind of sick to the back teeth of these storm clouds, because you know that they're connected to the anchorites. And another one appears to be brewing. And you bring the chest down, and I think, as you all gather on the portico outside and start taking the chest down the stairs, rain starts to sort of lash down on the trees, and there's sort of thunder rolling in the heavens. What are you going to decide to do at this point?
So, does this mean that an anchorite is nearby?
Well, I mean, you've all had dealings with anchorites now, but this is, Theron and Neva in particular. Whether it means there's one nearby or not, this is definitely another storm summoning, due to all their activity in the local area. And the rain starts to lash down as you're under the balcony, kind of deciding whether to sort of leave or not. You know you're going to get absolutely drenched to the skin the moment you move out.
I guess the question is, do we go investigate this place marked on the map right away? Or if we want to go back to Vendalen first, if we want to do that at a different time, do we want to do that at full strength? Do we want to do that perhaps when we can call on some of our companions to come and help us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rowan and Vesper, you've got. I mean, you haven't known Theron and Neva for very long. Theron, Rowan, you now know obviously has a strong connection to your sister, and a life, a battle of life and death that you've just gone through obviously bonds people very quickly. However, having said that, your very close companions have gone somewhere, and you are not aware of where they are even. So I don't know if that's also pressing on you.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to regroup before we go and fight what could possibly be a whole den of anchorites.
Indeed.
We
So,
struggled enough.
what we could do, I know that Neva and I are kind of all about the anchorites, so we can carry on. We can do a little bit more exploration in the forest. And then we can arrange a time to meet at Falcons and kind of, as you say, regroup, and then maybe go in a slightly more force towards the Circle of Thunder as an option.
I like that idea.
No, I like that idea too.
In that case, do you want me to smash your beautiful chest?
No.
Yeah.
I want
Well,
to.
how are you going to carry it? Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. Ugh.
Unless Neva takes it to Falcons for you.
No, smash the
You can
chest.
trust him.
Smash it.
Smash the chest.
Yeah.